What's up, YouTube? I'm here with a Charleston Grey ripening signs update. Just want to show you this Charleston Grey first. This is the biggest one of the patch. I'm expecting this one to ripen up last. Doing very well. The leaf closest to its umbilical, I actually think I had to pull it off. So it'll be hard to it won't be hard to tell it's gonna turn gray, but I have a Charleston Grey that I will be harvesting. So this is a ripening signs update and a harvest video. But I also wanted to just to state that I have a super, I'm not gonna say a bad issue. I just gotta keep up with it. But I have blight, southern blight going on in my garden. It's a heat problem that happens in the south. So just to show you what I mean, I have a few leaves. All right, say for instance this leaf here, you can see burned edges on it. So like the sun basically passes directly above my garden bed. And when I say directly above it, I mean directly above it. And this is the only part of my garden that actually has the sun pass directly over it, or the only part of my yard, I should say. So you can see these burn marks on the leaves and whatnot. It hasn't affected fruit quality, but one thing I can say is every plant in my garden has experienced this. Like every plant has experienced it, not just the watermelon vines, but my blackberries have experienced it, my blueberries, everything. I just finished watering the garden actually. So this is the Charleston Grey I'll be harvesting, and this one will be next for harvest. And we can see its leaves are browning out. Now I'm not sure if this, I doubt this is the southern blight because it doesn't feel crispy. Now with the southern blight, the leaves were feeling crispy, but it may be because I just watered the vine. So that one will be, this Charleston Grey will be harvested soon. This tendril is right here. You can see the tendril is fully dried out. So I'll wait a few more days on that one. And here is the Charleston Grey this video is dedicated to. Now, if you can remember, if you were following up with the videos with all the updates, I was showing this leaf and it was having a lot of green in it. And just to show you, it's the same tendril I showed from the previous updates. And you can see it's still all the way dried out. So it's been dry for about 2 weeks now. And this is the leaf closest to the tendril in which I pointed out at that time. And now, remember I was saying that the leaf was steadily drying out every day, so I know this isn't due to southern blight because none of my other leaves actually did this. With the southern blight, you can see, can you see it? A wilting of the, you see the vine right there? Let's get a better angle of that. Because not all the vines are displaying that characteristic, but it's the fact that it's happening. So you can see these vines are heavily wilted. Those will not come back. I've discovered a couple vines like that up to now. So it definitely has to do with the intense heat that's going on in Zone 9B at this moment. And not just Zone 9B, but the actual fact that the sun passes directly over my garden bed. And as I said, it doesn't pass anywhere else in my yard in that same manner. So my whole yard gets full sun, but this is again like full direct sun. But this leaf is gone, so Charleston Grey has to be ready to go. And another ripening sign I pointed out is, so you can see this little brown mark here. Then if we look in here, where the umbilical is connecting here, you can see it's starting to brown out, meaning that nutrients are almost finished passing through, or they are finished passing through. All right, guys, so according to my observations, when this finishes, once this dries out, that means water intake is completed. It doesn't mean nutrient intake is completed. So sugars are still developing, although this is dried out. Now, once this begins to dry, I take that as a sign that nutrient uptake completed. Now, I can't wait for this to dry all the way, but it's not necessary. And as you can see, it popped right off. If you have to fight it, it's not its ripest. Always remember that when you're trying to remove this umbilical. And also, you don't want to have to use scissors on this. If you have to use scissors, leave that melon on there, guys. Let's get this baby out of there. Oh. down there, huh? But the melon seems to be unaffected, guys, so maybe some fungal growth that was going on. Oh, I'll put this camera down for a moment. Big, heavy melon. Yeah! Oh yeah, you're heavy. All right, guys. So there was a fungal growth in there going on, but I doubt it affected the melon. It may be something else living in those wood chips. So I'll wipe this off for a moment. See how they look now. Beautiful. So we have a nice creamy bottom on it. And we have a nice grayish tone going on, which is why I assume they call it Charleston Grey. It has ribs on it. So you always want to be able to feel the ribs. The ribs basically run from the umbilical end all the way to the blossom end. The umbilical, the tendril was dried out, meaning water intake was completed. And then it began, the umbilical began drying out, which means nutrient intake was either beginning to complete or it was completed. So this is my Charleston Grey ripening signs update / harvest video, guys. All right, and show other Charlestons that we have going on. Have this right here. And honestly, the bloom that I just showed on the camera, I'll show it again. This is the newest Charleston of the patch. This is the largest Charleston of the patch. Super huge. Big melons, little water. As I said, I was watering these vines to a minimal level. Now, even if I did give these vines a little more water, I doubt that would have prevented the southern blight. I'm looking for the bloom, right? Here it is. And from what from what I can recall, this is a Charleston Grey. This is a Charleston Grey fruit right here. So it looks like I have another Charleston. And as I said once before in another video, I only have 2 Charleston Grey vines that are producing right. Well, I only have 2 Charleston Grey vines in this bed. And I have 12 vines in this bed. So the other 10 are 3 other varieties. So these this vinage that we see here is 12 vines, guys, and 2 of them are Charleston Grey. And yet we have so many Charleston Greys here. So just to count them, the ones that I have that are already set and ripening. 1, 2, this one was ripe, 3, 4, and this one will be ripe in a couple of days. Now I can pick this one. Yeah. This umbilical hasn't started drying yet. Well, yes it has. If we can see here at the top, I guess that's where it begins drying first, always closer to the vine. And if I let it sit, this whole umbilical will basically eventually dry out. So it'll remove itself on its own at the given point when it's at its peak maturity. I'll say it can't be at its peak maturity now. You probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference. So that's my update for today, guys. Charleston Grey ripening signs and harvest. Thank you.